Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Aya and today I'm going to share with you something so interesting that I have noticed when I quit drinking coffee. And to be specific, I stopped drinking caffeinated coffee. You could still drink decaf, but when I stopped drinking coffee, I have noticed so many things changing in my body that I didn't even know that were connected to drinking coffee. And so throughout the video, I'm going to be talking about coffee, and that is not including, decaf. You can still drink your decaf. I have noticed, I drink decaf now, and I do not have any of the symptoms coming back to me. And it's so interesting. I just think it's so important to share with the world this information because if you have any of the symptoms that I have, try quitting coffee and see what happens. You could still drink your teas. I drink black tea, green tea. They all have caffeine, like we know, but none of them give me that effect, or none of them give me those symptoms. So let's get started with a story. We're talking about 5 years, let's say. I'm always low on magnesium, always, like always. I would have, why I know I'm low on magnesium is because I have spasms in my legs where your toes cripple up in a severe pain and you can't let go. You have to like really stretch your leg to stop, and I would have to literally get like high dose of magnesium, calcium, magnesium into my body. It takes 10-20 minutes to kick in, but it will let go. The muscle spasm will let go. I have like sometimes big pains in my stomach area because of lack of magnesium. And anything that with spasm usually happens because you're lacking magnesium. And I always blamed my lack on sugar intake. I always eat sugar and a lot of it, and it is, studies shown if you do eat a lot of sugary stuff, it like kind of depletes you of magnesium. But it seems like no matter how many times I would take that magnesium vitamin, I'll still have symptoms time to time, especially that. So about the coffee part is, the backstory is the only side effect I would have if I drink coffee, especially like a strong one, would be jiggers. I'll have internal, like a shaking, like you think your hand is shaking, but it's not, but you feel like it is. And that affect me. Like, I'm like, that is so weird. I hated that kind of feeling. So I usually would, order one shot of espresso instead of like 3 on a big cup, kind of lowered it down. But sometimes, you don't know how many they put, and I'll have like jiggers almost all day. And I hated that. And at one point I went out with like on a date with my mom, and we're drinking coffee. I'm literally like not even finished with my cup, and I'm feeling like this jigger, and I'm like, Mom, I'm just like, it's so annoying that my coffee gives me these jiggers. And she said, stop it. Stop drinking coffee. Your body is saying it doesn't like it. Don't torture your body. And she said, it's not okay that you are drinking that coffee and it gives you that jiggers. And I was like, but Mom, I always had these. Like, if it's too strong, just a little bit too strong, you're already getting the jiggers. And I'm like, I hated the feeling, but I'm like, I could live with that, nothing else. But I didn't know it was connected to so many other problems in my body. So that magnesium, curling up the toes and everything, always lacking magnesium in my body. And then another one, here's a second biggest reason and the effect on my body that I noticed, and it is so important. I feel like I'm kind of shocked, and I have to share it with the world. I'm not a doctor. Do not take any advice from me, but quitting, see if it affects you. Like, if your symptoms will go away, just check. just check. I mean, it doesn't hurt to stop drinking coffee. And one thing that I think changed my life, and I'm serious because I could have had way more problems down the line, and now I don't have it, which is almost weird how these two things are connected. It is, I don't know if this is for boys, you guys can click off, but I have noticed that the past, I would say, I don't know, a year or two, let's say 2 or 3 years, my booby area was very sensitive. I would be so sensitive that if even if I slightly hit it like this, like slightly, I would have a little lump underneath my boob the next day, and it would hurt for weeks. If I hit it even harder, it would be a lump for way longer. And I have noticed them popping everywhere. I would have like the bad booby, and I would have a lot. And the sad part, I'm like an A cup, so I don't know how I had such a sensitive boobies. But don't take my advice on this. I mean, do see doctors if you have a lump. But I just didn't want to see the doctor. I was like, it's fine. They all go away. Like, they all go away eventually. So it's like, if I had this before, and it just goes away. So, and I have like a lymph kind of problem. So I would have like lump here or lymph nodes. And that usually goes back to my childhood. So lumps are not something new. They come and go. But I would always have a lump or hurting booby somewhere. And I was like, this is not right. Like, why do I keep these lumps come up and go away, come up and go away? It's not okay. And I just didn't know the answer to it. I was like, well, it just come and I'll have a good week or two, and then I hit it or do it, and I'll be just so sensitive everywhere. It was just horrible. I was like, how do even people do sports? How do people live their life? How do they like do anything? I always in pain somewhere in the side. Anyway, so I just thought I had to live with that, or if it wouldn't go away, I would definitely go and check, but they would go away. And when I quit coffee, like a week or 2 or 3, I don't remember dates, but I started to have either less or like no bumps, no sense like hurting. And I would always check because, like, I'm in my 30s, so people still have to check their boobies. And I stopped having those symptoms. And it's been months. I think it's been 3 or 4 months since I quit caffeine, and I hadn't had a lump in my breast, no matter what I did. Like, hey, obviously, like, anything like life related, you do life, and I feel them there's nothing there. Nothing. They're happy, they don't hurt, they're not sore. Oh, one thing, I mean, maybe it's too much, but another sensation I had is right in the nipple area. It was like electric shock going inside my boob, and it wouldn't go away. Come and go, come and go. That was really annoying and really weird, but all of it is gone. All the symptoms are gone from that problem, and I think it's life-changing to me, because I mean, I could have had like cancer or anything like that. I mean, this is not okay. So technically, I was harming my body constantly with drinking coffee. And I'm not a big drinker, you guys. I drink like once in, 3 times a week. I'm not that coffee addict. I'm not even 2-3 cups I'm talking about, because I'm so sensitive to caffeine. I knew that. And that is a major thing I wanted to share online, is that if you have any of these symptoms, think that could be related to caffeine. I mean, I haven't had any leg spasms. You guys have no idea how amazing it feels not having that. I still didn't quit my sugar intake like back in the day, so I could say that it's not related to my sugar. And I couldn't even, you know how some people can fold their toes and stand or sit? I would never be able to do that on my toes. It would literally trigger spasm and it would hurt so bad. I'll have to like constantly drink magnesium. That was like part of my life, honestly. So I know this video is long, but I hope it helps somebody. Again, I'm not a doctor. Do talk to your doctor. I just wanted to share my experience and how it affected me, and it has completely removed two big symptoms: lumps in my breast and sensitivity and shocking feeling and all of it, and lack of magnesium, spasming, all that stuff. It's crazy. I don't know how these two things are related, but they are apparently, because ever since I stopped, I haven't felt better. So hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, comment below. Share your story below if you ever had these kind of symptoms and you quit coffee and that changed your life. Just share, maybe it will help somebody else too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your time. I hope it helps somebody out there.